Chapter 13. The Breaking Point. The night of Lisa's dance production finally arrived. It was one of glamour and excitement, the culmination of months of hard work, passion, and dedication. The grand ballroom of the exclusive hotel was transformed into a stage for Lisa's vision, with an air of anticipation that crackled like electricity. The chandeliers sparkled above the elegantly dressed guests, and the room was alive with the chatter of all who were gathered to witness the debut of Lisa Hart. Sebastian stood in the corner, watching as the room filled with celebrities, philanthropists, and art lovers. He had spared no expense in making sure the night would be unforgettable, not just for Lisa, but for everyone in attendance. This was her moment, and he was determined to make it everything she had ever dreamed of become a reality. But beneath his composed exterior, Sebastian felt a disturbing anxiety. The distance between him and Lisa had grown since that night in the studio. Despite their efforts to bridge the gap, the tension between them was real. They had exchanged polite words, even managed to keep things professional. But the warmth and the connection that had once been between them was gone. As the lights dimmed and the music began, Sebastian's heart raced. He knew how much this meant to Lisa, how much she had poured out her heart into this production. But he also knew that tonight could be the breaking point for them both. Lisa took to the stage like she was born for it, her movements smooth and precise, her passion radiating from every step, every turn. The audience was spellbound, captivated by the raw emotion she conveyed through her dance. It was a story of love and loss, of pain and redemption. It was her story in so many ways, but it was also a reflection of the deep, conflicting emotions she felt about Sebastian. As she danced, she could not help but think of him standing somewhere in the audience watching her. She had put everything she had into this performance, hoping that somehow, through her art, she could express the things she hadn't been able to say. But as the final notes of the music faded and the applause erupted, she knew that the stage wasn't the place to resolve the turmoil between them. The curtains closed, and Lisa took her final bow, her heart heavy despite the triumph of the night. She did it. She had achieved her dream, but the victory felt hollow. As she stepped backstage, she was met with a flood of congratulations, but all she could think about was Sebastian and the confrontation she knew was certain. The reception following the performance was held in an adjoining ballroom, a lavish affair with champagne flowing freely and guests mingling, praising Lisa's masterpiece. But Lisa felt like an outsider in her own celebration. She scanned the room, searching for Sebastian, knowing that she couldn't avoid this any longer. She found him near the back of the room, standing alone, his expression incomprehensible. He looked up as she approached, his eyes softening slightly, but there was a tension in his posture that paralleled her own. "Lisa," he began, his voice low, almost hesitant. But Lisa didn't want chats. The emotions she had been bottling up for weeks finally erupted. "Why, Sebastian? Why did you do all of this for me?" she asked, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and pain. Sebastian looked at her, taken aback by the intensity in her eyes. "I wanted to support you, to help you achieve your dream. You deserve this." "Do I?" Lisa asked, her voice rising. "Or was this just another way to fill the void in your life? To distract yourself from your grief? You say you care about me, but all I feel is that I am being used to replace someone you will never get over." Sebastian's eyes narrowed, the hurt in her words cutting deep. "That's not fair, Lisa. I have never once tried to replace Alice with you. You are different. You are special to me in a way that's entirely your own." "Am I?" Lisa's voice cracked, the tears she had been holding back finally spilling over. "Because all I see is a man who is still in love with his wife, a man who cannot let go of his past. You are so wrapped up in your memories of her that you can't even see me for who I am." Sebastian's face tightened, his own emotions boiling to the surface. "And you? You think I don't see the walls you've put up between us? You are so afraid of being hurt, of letting someone in, that you have pushed me away at every turn. I have tried to show you how much I care, but you won't let me in. You won't even give us a chance." Lisa shook her head, her hands trembling. "I am scared, Sebastian. Scared of being hurt again. Scared of losing myself in you. I have worked so hard to get here to be strong, and I'm terrified that if I let you in, I'll lose everything I've fought for." Sebastian's anger softened, replaced by a deep sadness. He stepped closer, his voice gentle now. "Lisa, I'm not asking you to give up yourself or your independence. I admire those things about you, but we can't keep doing this, pushing each other away because we're too scared to face what's really going on between us." Lisa looked up at him, her heart torn. She knew he was right, but the fear was still there, clawing at her. "I don't want to be someone's second choice," she whispered. "You're not," Sebastian said firmly, his eyes locking onto hers. "You're my choice, Lisa, but I can't keep fighting for us alone. You two have to decide if this is something you want." For a moment, they stood there, the room around them fading away as they faced the reality of their situation. The weight of their pasts, their fears, their unresolved emotions hung heavy in the air. Finally, Lisa took a deep breath, wiping away her tears. "I don't know if I can do this, Sebastian. I don't know if I'm strong enough." Sebastian reached out, gently taking her hand in his. "You're stronger than you think. But you have to believe that we can be something more, something that's not defined by our pasts." Lisa looked at their joined hands, feeling the warmth of his touch, the sincerity in his words. She wanted to believe it, but the fear still lingered. "I need time," she whispered, pulling her hand away. Sebastian nodded, understanding in his eyes, but also a deep sadness. "Take all the time you need, but know that I'm here, waiting for you. I'll always be here." With that, Lisa turned and walked away, leaving Sebastian standing alone in the midst of the celebration. The success of the night felt hollow to both of them, overshadowed by the unresolved tension that still hung between them. As the night wore on, and the guests continued to celebrate, both Lisa and Sebastian were left to confront the ghosts of their pasts, wondering if they could ever find a way to move forward together.